Good evening, guys. As part of the class, we were discussing about CSS we completed, and HTML. And as part of the today class, will discuss about PHP. Just check a minute. This is a PHP. So PHP stands here hypertext preprocessor. So it's a openly used openly used server-side scripting language. So there are two types of scripting language generally we use. One is client and one is server. So this PHP, we use it for server-side scripting. Server-side scripting. And we can download it free of cost. So these PHP scripts can be executed on the server. So any server, you take application server or development server, whatever the server you have, application server, or you can use development server. Can use application server. I use dev server, we generally call it as development servers. For this, we can use one is Tomcat, generally we use for development purpose, and application server we generally use WebLogic and WebSphere. So many are there. WebSphere. So any server you can use for this purpose. So that is when you wanted to execute this scripting language on the server side, so we required any one of the server on our machine. Any one of the server on our machine. So almost on all major platforms, we can execute this scripting language. So like, on Windows platform, you can execute, and Linux platform, you can execute. Any other platform you have on that platform, you can execute this scripting language. So almost it is compatible with all kinds of servers. Just now I said one is Apache server. You can take Microsoft IaaS server, you can take an WebSphere, WebLogic. Almost it is compatible on all kinds of servers. And it also supports the databases like MySQL and DB2, MongoDB, these. So as part of the course, we discuss MySQL. We discuss about the MySQL. So this is, so as part of this, we completed HTML. We understood what is HTML. In CSS, we understood what is scripting language, what is cascading style sheets, what are inline, external, embedded, the style sheets. So here the how the PHP file can be saved here is we can save with .php extension. So HTML, HTML we HTML can be saved with .htm or .html, and CSS can be saved with, we already seen this, .css, and the PHP can be saved with .php. So here .php is an extension. We can call it as, we can call it as file extension. File extension. So by looking at the file, just by looking at the file, so we can understand that what kind of what kind of uh, programming language, what kind of programming language is. So that is the purpose of the file extension. So what we can do with the PHP is, we can generate or we can develop dynamic page content, and it can create even the files, and it can even open the files, it can read the files, it can write the files, and delete and close the files on the server. So whatever the server you are using, that meaning is that here, let us say, if we are using WebLogic or Tomcat, what is the server we are using? On that server, on the servers, the PHP can be create a file or open a file, and can read a file, PDF file, and can write into the file, and even it can close the file. So this is on the any of the server. Who does this all these tasks is the PHP can. So the PHP can does all these tasks on with server platform. Okay. So this is, so it can collect even the form data. It can collect form data. Here form data means the form can have any kind of details. It can have any kind of details. Simple if you take just a minute. Simple if you take Google form. You take Google, what is a login form? So Google login form contains username and password fields. Okay. So like this, any form contain um, fields call it as form data. Call it as what? Form data. So that is form data. So we can send and receive cookies. Can send and receive even cookies. So what does the cookies stores is? Cookies store some kind of information, important information. So that kind of information can be sent and receive. That kind of information can be sent and can be received by the PHP. So PHP can do this task. It will send the data and can receive the data from the cookies. So PHP can even add, delete, modify data in your database. So these activities create, open, read, write, delete, and close functions, or you can say activities, does on the server. Who does this? The PHP can does this. And PHP even can collect the form data, and it can send and receive the cookies. And one more job what it does is it can even add, delete, modify the data in our database. So again, what is the database we are talking about here? We are talking about MySQL. We are talking about is MySQL. So what we require to work with the PHP now? To work with the PHP, we required we required is server we required. And one more we required what? Database we required. Understood? So before this, we completed what? We completed HTML, we completed CSS. So we completed HTML and we completed CSS. So, and now what we required one server. You take application server or web server. And even we required one database. The database we take is MySQL. So what are the prerequisites we understood now to work with the PHP? So it can even use to control user access. User access. And even it can does one more activity or one more task is encryption. Encryption. So encrypting means you are hiding the data. Encrypting means what? Hiding the data. Hiding the data. Hiding the data with the positional parameters. With what it will hide the data is with positional parameters. So what are the positional parameters? We are not discussing now itself. So we required what? I mean the PHP required PHP required the concept. With that concept, it used the positional parameters to hide the data. To hide the data. So that is the PHP introduction. So as part of the PHP introduction, how to save the PHP file and what we understood and what is the kind of activities it does. It will create, open, read, write, delete, and close the file on the server. So what are the kinds of servers are there we have seen? What are the databases, kinds of databases we have seen? Okay. So now coming back to the syntax. Syntax. So every programming language or every scripting language is having some kind of its own kind of rules and regulations. So any programming language or any scripting language will contain their own way of syntax. We call it as. So these are the angle brackets, open and close. These are the question mark, open and close. And this PHP is the keyword. PHP is the keyword. Now see here, this is just one program. This one program. So here this is the PHP. core. So here what we written, here we written what? This hello world. So it is displayed on the screen console, displayed on the console. And this is an HTML. That's what we discussed already. HTML inside the H1 tag, the content is written and this content displayed on the browser. This content displayed on the browser. That content displayed on the browser. Now see here. So this is HTML doc type. This is a doc type. This is a doc type. And this is HTML. This is open and close. And this is a body, open and close. Inside the body, we can write title also. We can write the title. And inside the body, we written PHP. This is. Now inside this, we written the statements in single quotes. We written the statements in single quotes, and this is the terminator. This is the terminator. So that that is the introduction. Now the comments, the two types of comments supports. The PHP support two types of comments. One type comment is single line comment and one type is multi-line comment. One type is multi-line comment. Now what is the difference between these two comments here is, here you can use these two forward slash and you can use hashtag. You can use two forward slash or you can use hashtag for single line comment. For multi-line, this representation forward slash asterisk asterisk open and close and forward slash open and close. So this is comments. So how does we use comments in a program? The next most important is PHP variables. PHP variables. Now, what is the purpose of the variable? We know it already. To store any kind of data, we use the variables. Just see this. To store any kind of data, we can use variables. We can use variables. Variables. And that variable, the variable will have the name. Will have the name. That means it will store the data. It will store the data with one meaningful name. With one meaningful name. Okay. With one meaningful name. So here there are some kind of rules are there here. There are some kinds of rules. There are some kinds of rules to give a name to name to storage location. Name to storage location. So here one rule is it must starts with symbol, starts with one symbol. Now what is the symbol? It is dollar symbol. It must starts with dollar symbol. It must starts with dollar symbol along with along with along with name of the variable. Along with name of the variable. So that is rule number one. Rule number two, it can any variable name, any variable name, any variable name must start with a letter. A letter. A letter is a letter is alphabet, that is lowercase or uppercase. So any variable name must start with a letter or with a underscore. Underscore. This underscore. And this is, how do you differentiate this hyphen? So underscore hyphen, there is a difference here. So make sure the difference. So that is any variable name, it will start with a letter or with underscore. So that is rule number two. That is rule number two. Rule number three here, it cannot, it should not, it must not should not or not cannot. It must not start with a number. With a number. That is 0 to 9 or combination. 0 to 9. I can say combination. So 11 is a combination of 1 comma 1. 90 is a combination of 9 comma 0, like that. So that is rule number 3. Rule number 4, a variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. So what is that? You take any variable name. So take any variable name. Take any variable name. It should contain should contain it should contain alphanumeric characters alphanumeric characters and underscore. So what is the alphanumeric characters? Here you can see this is alphanumeric and this is underscore. That is underscore. And last important is most important. The variable names are case sensitive. Variable names are what? Case sensitive. They are case sensitive. So what does it mean that case sensitive here? You see these two are variables. These two are variables. These two are variables. The difference is this variable is lowercase completely and this variable is uppercase completely. Uppercase completely. So it recognize this is a variable, this is a variable. These two variables are different because of their case sensitive. They're because of their lowercase and uppercase. So that is a difference. That is a difference. Now, how to create a PHP variables? How to create a PHP variable? So we already know that it will start with the dollar sign. Start with the dollar symbol. So see this program. See this. This is a dollar symbol. This is a dollar symbol. Now, what is the variable name here? Here X is a variable. Here Y is a variable. Now, what is this one? This is a constant. This is a constant. So what is the semicolon? This is the end of the line. We can call it as terminator. And this is the end of the line. We can call it as terminator. Okay. So see this. If you replace this with, you replace with the 10, you have written here, you have written. So any name, just run this. So what it doing? Displaying 10 directly on the console, displaying these characters directly on the console. So here I've written here, if you want, you can write, you can write title also. Title also you can write. So what is the title here? PHP variables. So here this PHP, see, this is opening and closing. This is open and this is close. So this is a left angle bracket and this is right angle bracket. This is question mark and this is question mark. And the PHP is a keyword. So here this 10 is stored in the variable X and this characters BRAO is stored in the variable Y. Now to display this, we need one more keyword here, echo. This is, by using this, we can display the X here. And we given a break here, given a break, BR stands break. And again, we used what? Echo and Y, $Y. So why we are using the variables to display the content here is, so that is value is stored inside this variable. So we cannot directly use the constant here to display. So it is not recommended. It is not recommended. So we cannot directly use the constants to display on the console. To display on the console. So you can write any content here. You can write any content here. Use one more variable called $Z use and use here sem6, use sem6 and display the $Z. Display the $Z here. Now try to run this. So what it is to display here, we have used here one character extra. We have not used semicolon. Okay. So, so any mistakes you do that will be displayed. See here, BRAOU beside SEM6 is displayed. Why we have not used break here? So we have written this statement and this statement without a break. So that is why it is displayed the both the contents side by side. See here, side by side. So just to change this, you write here break, you click on. Now see here, this is written displayed separately and this is displayed separately. So this is variable. So one more case sensitive we said here, BC, we take one more variable. We understood that case sensitive. Case sensitive means if you use if you use same variable with different cases, it will treat as different. So I will use what here? Dollar capital X I will use. So here I will use what? 15 semicolon. And here I will use equal dollar X. So what it does, actually, it should give error as per our understanding because here X is there, here X is there, both are same. But in PHP perception, the X is this is lowercase, this is uppercase, so both are different. So it will not give any error. It will not give any error. Just click on this. So displayed what here? This displayed 15 here. See, because this variable X, this variable also X, both are same actually. But their case is different. Their case is different. So that's why it is not given any error. So suppose if you use lowercase x, we have seen here also lowercase. Let us say we should not display this. Check this. See here we have used both the variables same, but the values are different. Let's check once. So what is it is taken the value second variable value. It is not taken first variable value. So these are the variables. If you want to apply the addition, if you want to apply the addition, you can apply like this. So here variable x, this x variable, 5 will store inside the x. By using x, we are writing here addition. This is 4 stored in y, and y we are using here. And this is addition operator. So what is this performing? It's performing the addition. It's performing the addition. Now see, we'll change this. Let's say 10. Run this. So what is displayed here? 14 is displayed. See here. This is the addition. Now you apply multiplication, subtraction. So display here. So it is used y 146. Why we have not used any break statement? We have not used any break statement here. Use the break statement. Use the break statement here. So click on. So 14 is separate and 6 is separate. So this is addition. This line is addition. And this line is fraction. Okay, run this. So this is a comment. These are not displayed in the console screen because this is what comment. This is what comment. Okay. I'm writing here a comment, one more comment here. I'm just multi-line comment. So this is subtraction. And if you want, you can perform even multiplication, you can perform. Multiplication, you can perform. It's a multiplication. This is multiplication. Mine is multiplication. And you can perform the division also. Division you can perform. Perform the division. You click on here. Click on. So what is the division? 20 division 4 is 5. So these are the operations, arithmetic operations. These are all arithmetic operations. These are all arithmetic operations. Now one more concept is data type concept. More concept is data type concept. So data type concept is, now we just discussed that variable, inside the variable, what is the data to be stored is decided by data type. These are the data types. So inside these data types decides what kind of value to store inside the variable. What kind of value to store inside the variable. So this is a string, int, float, boolean, true or false. So string will store text data. Integer will store whole numbers, that is 1, 2, 3. Float, decimal values. Array see multiple values. Object stores an object. So what is an object? We'll discuss. Null is empty variable. So these are data types. These are data types. See the string data type. String data type stores the values sequence of characters. Sequence of characters. So here we see these are sequence of characters. Example here, these are sequence of characters. So this is a variable name. This is a variable name. This is a variable name. So this is string. This is string. The next one is int data type. Integer data type, this range. In between, we can store the values. So it's an int data type. So this value, this is the integer value. If you wanted to store the integer value, you can store in. So what is this? Is a int or character is decided by this function. This function, with this function, we can understand that what kind of value this is. I mean, this value stored under this variable, and this variable is of what kind of variable, which data type value it is storing inside this. What is the data type of this variable? So this value belongs to what kind of data? So that can be displayed by using this function. By using this function. So let us say here we put this one. Now I will check. This is a float. Previously, what it does, suppose you take this value. Now you remove this. Now you comment this. Comment this. Now you check. This is int. This value is int. Now you comment this. Now you comment this. Now you check. Check. Now what is this? This value is what? Float. So this is what? Float. What is float? So this is a way we can store the values in the variable. So what kind of values to be stored inside the variable is decided by the data type. Decided by the what? Data type. So if you already stored a value and that value is what kind of value it is, if you wanted to understand or what kind of data type value it is, wanted to understand, we can use this function variable underscore dump. So that is, and this is float. This is float. Next, Boolean. Boolean. Now see this. Let's say we write y here, and this is check the variable y. Check the variable y. So this is Boolean. Now I can use the echo here. Can use the echo. So can use break. Now this is string over in PHP string float boolean, and this one is arrays. This one. Okay, this in use for here. Use arrays here. This is arrays. This what? Array. This is array. Next is object type. Object type and null type. Object type and null type. Now, what is an object here? See, here this car is an object. This car is an object. So the car is having a color. The car is having a model. The car is having a color. The car is having the model. Okay. So what is this color? Red color. The model is Volvo. So what is this object? This is object. So you can name your class any name. I have taken car here. You take student. Example here. An object can be any any entity which available physically which available physically and which we can touch and feel, which we can touch and feel. So that is object. So here I've named here what? Car is an object. Car is an object. So like this, you can name anything is an object. Anything is an object. Example, if you take university is in one object, so university can contain name, university contain courses, university contain duration, university contain address, university contain phone number, university contain area, university contain students. Like this, you can write any number of details under the object called university. So what is my object name here? My object name is university. So this is the object. The remaining we can discuss in next class. Remaining we can discuss in next class.